Shalom Aleichem Chevra. I want you to know, first of all, that I miss you because our opportunity to learn together is more than just an opportunity to learn. It's more than an opportunity just to be inspired, but it's really a feeling of Chevra. It's a feeling of growing together, and that's something very special that we have the zechus to share. We can continue to share. I wanted to do something that would be interesting, inspirational, something that we can grow from during this period, even if it's only a few minutes together. So I wanted to learn about davening. But what I mean is I don't want to just go through the words. I don't want to just talk about the halachas. I don't just want to talk about the meaning. I want to try to talk about the experience of davening. So let's get started with the very beginning. The halacha is that we're supposed to take 3 steps to, so to speak, approach HaKadosh Baruch Hu when we begin davening. Now we all know that the minig generally is to take 3 steps back and then 3 steps forward. Technically speaking, the only reason you have to take 3 steps backwards is because there's not enough room to take 3 steps forwards, unless first you take 3 steps backwards. In a typical shul, in a typical situation, that's the way it is. But Me'ikar Hadin, the basic halacha is that you really just have to take 3 steps forward. The idea is to approach HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it's interesting that the number is 3. Definitely requires further thought, but just as a general thought process, the number 3 does appear many, many times in Shemona Esrei, in Torah, and in the physical world. And number 3, on its most basic level, represents something that can stand fast, that can stand on its own, that has a certain continuity and a reality to it. There are 3 avos. So it means to say, if you want something to stand, you want to create a stool, so you make 1 leg, not so good. 2, maybe even worse. But 3, then you can balance it and it can hold its position. Be that as it may, 3 steps. But we should know that what you don't do is take the 3 steps while you say the first 6 words of Shemona Esrei. I've seen people do this, where they say Hashem Svasai Tiftach, and then that's how they take their 3 steps back, and they take their 3 steps forward. That's incorrect. The correct thing to do is to take 3 steps backwards and then forwards before one says Hashem Svasai Tiftach, because that's the beginning of Shemona Esrei, and therefore you don't want to be walking while you're in the middle of Shemona Esrei. But let's just talk about this for a minute. The basic idea that I think we all understand is that we want to, so to speak, leave this world and approach HaKadosh Baruch Hu so to speak, in His world. What exactly does that mean? And here's what I mean. What's the experience that we're supposed to be having here in the Shemona Esrei? And while everyone's individual experience is going to be unique, nonetheless, there's a certain tzad hashava, a certain common denominator that I think we all have. So just as an idea to think about for today, when we begin our Shemona Esrei, what we don't want to be doing is serve us. We don't want to just be approaching HaKadosh Baruch Hu with a grocery list of what we need. Of course, we need to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu anytime we need anything, and that's a mitzvah when we need something to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But nonetheless, we also want to utilize our Shemona Esrei as a service to Hashem. It's called Avoda Shabbaleh, V'Avdo B'Chol Avavchem, is the pasuk that's used as a source for davening. Meaning to say, we have keys, and that's every word of Shemona Esrei. And with those keys, we unlock all the doors in Shemayim, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu requests of us. We need to unlock those doors. So what we want to do when we begin our Shemona Esrei is actually connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a real way, not in a superficial way. And what that means is, we have to know who we are. We have to know who we are to connect to someone else. Because if I don't know who I am, how am I going to connect to you? But if I know who I am, and you know who you are, then we can really connect to each other. But to the extent that I think I'm just a reflection of my society, I'm just something superficial, I like this sports team. What's your favorite sports team? We're not connecting. We may share a certain hobby in common, but we're not connecting. In order to connect, you have to actually know who you really are and connect that to someone else who knows who they really are. And then the two of us connect. What it means to approach HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and especially if you want to take the 3 steps back and sort of distance yourself from Olam Hazeh, what it means to say is, who are we really? We're really not the clothes we wear. We're really not the hairstyles that we used to have. All of that is superficial. Who we really are is our neshama. And a neshama exists even when we're not conscious of the rest of the physical body. Imagine a person, Rahman al-Islam, completely unable to move anything in his body, but his consciousness is very much aware of who he is. He is alive because he is his neshama. We are our neshamos. You are your neshama. So to be able to approach a Kadosh Baruch Hu, that's how we have to begin, and that's how we have to focus. So our 3 steps forward is to remind ourselves we need to leave all the superficiality of this world and approach a Kadosh Baruch Hu in real terms. Connect to Kadosh Baruch Hu by knowing who we really are. Tzlacha, have a great day.